Pix 11 puts you first. Presented by Jacoby and Meyers, New York's injury lawyers. We live here too.
If you are a regular of the show, you know that this year we have partnered with Jacoby and Meyers to put your safety first. So we've tackled a lot of different issues. First, bike safety. We reminded folks to always wear a helmet, stay in the bicycle lane, and make sure to use flashing lights on the front and back of their bikes. We've also talked about the importance of safety in apartment buildings, which included harmful situations renters should be reporting, like uneven stairs, unsafe elevators, and inadequate security. Today, our good friend, Andrew Finkelstein, the managing partner from Jacoby and Meyers, New York, is here to talk about electric scooter safety. It's always great to see you, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning. Nice seeing you.
So let's get right into this regarding the new law. So there's a new law about electric scooters. Why was it finally passed?
Well, I think it was just a groundswell of people wanting to have access to electric scooters for a lot for delivery purposes, and it's been proven relatively safe in many other cities. So New York, in its infinite wisdom, ultimately passed it, but it does come with dangers, and people have to be really careful with e-scooters, electric scooters, pedal assist bikes, and throttle assist bikes.
Right, Andrew, because we wanted to clarify, you know, sort of the electric portion can apply to a lot of different bikes and scooters. So if you could tell us which types of vehicles are now being allowed.
Well, all three, electric scooters, which are the stand-up scooters, the pedal assist bikes, and the throttle controlled bikes. And they all have relatively different low speed limits, but what's important is they cannot be operated on the sidewalk. They are allowed to be operated in the bike lane or in the right-hand lane if there is no bike lane. But they can only be operated on streets that have a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit or less.
Oh, that's very interesting to know. Also important when you are sharing the road as a driver of a vehicle. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, you raise a very good point. There's two, I would define, classes of people that ought to be very careful with these new electrified transportation vehicles, because they really are vehicles. They don't have to be registered, though, and when they don't have to be registered, that means no insurance applies to them, which I'll come back to in a second. But when you add speed to any object, it makes it that much more difficult to see if you're a driver of a vehicle. So if you're on any electrified vehicle, whether it's an e-scooter, a pedal assist bike, or a throttle assist bike, make sure you're visible. Don't cut in front of anybody. And although it is not required to wear a helmet unless you're 16 or 17 years old, then it's mandatory. I strongly encourage wear a helmet if you're doing anything in speed, certainly on these electric scooters, bikes, and throttle assists, because the number one injury of anyone on these are head injuries.
Which is so scary.
Yeah, they're very scary, and they are generally permanent in nature.
Right.
And although they're not completely preventable, a helmet does
It'll lessen the injury.
Absolutely, and protects you.
So, Andrew, tell us again what the rules are for riding an e-scooter in New York.
Well, an e-scooter cannot be driven or operated on the sidewalk.
Okay, no sidewalk.
It is either in the bike lane or on a street, but most importantly, the street can only have a speed limit of 30 miles or less. You can't bring this out on a highway or anything along that line. It's really important as pedestrians to be on guard and on the lookout. That's the other group of people that there's somewhat increased dangers in our city streets, and we all have to be respectful of everybody's rights to operate these electrified vehicles. Be on the lookout for them. Nobody has superior rights. The vehicles ought to give way to pedestrians, but pedestrians need to be on the lookout too.
So what are the best safety advice that you could give our viewers, since so many of us are sharing the road either as a driver of a vehicle, a car, a pedestrian, a bike, or an e-scooter?
Well, my global information is speed kills, right? Slow down, even if you're on these vehicles, there's a maximum speed for the electric the e-scooter of 15 miles an hour. There's a maximum speed limit for a pedal assist bike of 20 miles an hour and a throttle assist of 25. But if you're going too fast, you can't recognize your surroundings. So slow down and be cognizant of who's around you. Secondly, make sure that you wear a helmet. That's really I hope, the strongest takeaway.
I love it. Thank you so much, Andrew. Always a fun fountain of wisdom. We appreciate your time. And if you at home would like more safety tips when it comes to e-scooters, head to jmlawyer.com. Time now for a check of the